All right, so before we get in this whole Jalen Hurts debate, because I don't think you started the war, David. I think you just revived one that was in like a ceasefire.
I think
you basically ended a ceasefire. And we're going to get to that. But I told you guys about the bat bomb during World War II, right?
You did.
Where they, before the A-bomb was made, they had a bomb where they put bats in it and it would drop, and the bats had napalm basically attached to them with a little timer, and they'd go in little crevices and start setting everything on fire. Well, all right, 1973, in the Cold War, all right, the Soviet Union just came out with those RKG-3 whatever tank busters. So the American military and NATO was trying to find a way or figure something out that could fight these armored vehicles effectively that was smaller and could be used by a single soldier at short ranges. So what do? One of the most American things you can do. They basically take a Nerf football, hollow it out, and put a 14-ounce explosive charge inside of it. So, because most Americans can throw a football and understand it, all right? But there was only one problem. The reason a football flies like that, all right, and it was called the anti-armor football grenade, all right? The reason that it didn't work was because a football flies like it flies because it's hollow on the inside. You can control it a lot better. Well, when you add 14 ounces to the middle of it, it's the military said it was basically unpredictable, or where I'm from, what we call Dak Prescott. So it was a great idea in theory. In practice, it didn't really work out. But can you imagine if that actually worked out? We could take over the world with just Joe Milton. Give him just unlimited football explosives. He could throw one from here to Russia. You want to help the Ukrainians out? Put him on the coast of California, or, I don't know, the closest part to Ukraine. I'm not a, geography major by any stretch of the imagination. And let Joe Milton just bombs over Baghdad this thing.
He could.
Joe Milton would find a way to overthrow Russia.
No, well, yeah, you don't want him to overthrow Russia, and all of a sudden he hits like some poor country.
He'll end up hitting us.
But
throw it across the world.
But just think about that, man. You go to war, you're in the trenches, and they're like, all right, here comes the anti-armored tanks. Like, let's see, who do we pick? Maybe the former Michigan quarterback.
So it was a real Nerf football?
You could do. We'll put a picture up of it. It was a Nerf football that they hollowed out and put kind of like, you know how the Nerf football has like the tail on the end of it? It kind of had like the
Vortex Megaflight?
The Megaflight. I don't know if this thing whistled, but I know it screamed at the end. But it was just, you couldn't throw it where you wanted to. It would just, but now you give me the ball and give me a few throws. I feel like I can dial it in a little bit and kind of figure it out. But I love the idea. In theory, just in practice, it didn't work. So the anti-armor football grenade. All right, that's something you probably didn't know today. Also, some of you didn't know.
I like it.
Patrick Mahomes and Christian McCaffrey vow to be ready to play this weekend after getting nicked up last weekend. Our good friend Jonathan Isaac puts up 10 points in his return to the Magic. Good to see Jonathan back. And we debate whether Jalen Hurts should be considered an Alabama or an Oklahoma quarterback. I'm Jake Crane. It's a Tuesday, baby, and this is Crane and Company. Now, typically at this time in the beginning of the show, I enthrall you with a monologue full of wisdom and a puzzle you have to piece together for the rest of the day. But we have a special situation. Our co-host and 6'7" giant is about to have his second kid. Well, he's not going to have it. His beautiful wife, Darby Lou's going to have it, and she could have it at any time. So we wanted to make sure we get to our Get Off My Lawn this week. Typically, it's on Wednesday, but on this early Tuesday morning, after reviving a ceasefire, David Cohn, who's G'ing off your L today?
Oklahoma fans who are triggered that Jalen Hurts played football at Alabama need to get off my lawn.
Jalen Hurts, my quarterback.
For the record, I played at Michigan, so I have no dog in this Sooner versus Bama battle, but I do have the facts, which is what I tweeted this weekend. Jalen Hurts won an NFL playoff game, and he's the first Crimson Tide quarterback to do so since Richard Todd, who's my father-in-law, which is the only reason I even knew the stat. I never said Jalen Hurts didn't play at Oklahoma or claim him as more of a Tide quarterback than a Sooner. He had a great season at OU and got drafted from there. If someone tweeted that Jalen Hurts is the first Oklahoma quarterback to win an NFL playoff game since Baker Mayfield, I wouldn't have thought twice about it because it's a statement of fact, as was mine. Now, I don't understand why Georgia and Tennessee fans jumped in. They should remember losing to Jalen more than anyone. But Oklahoma fans came at me for blood. Look, I get it, Sooners. Lincoln Riley left for a different program. He took Caleb Williams, who won the Heisman Trophy. Spencer Rattler is having success at South Carolina. Your team lost to Texas this season, 49-0. It's an emotional time, but you're giving everyone serious Stage 5 Klinger vibes like that redheaded chick from Wedding Crashers. You bring up Joe Burrow, who never started a game for the Buckeyes, and Cam Newton and Justin Fields, who never started at Florida or Georgia. It's ignorant and it's childish. Jalen Hurts was 26-2 at Alabama, the first freshman to ever start at quarterback for Nick Saban. He won a national championship. He graduated from there. His Senior Bowl helmet had both logos on it. Trying to erase history like that, that's something communists do. In the transfer portal era, we'll be seeing a lot of athletes play for multiple schools. Russell Wilson still threw touchdowns at NC State. Bo Nix won a lot of games for Auburn. Sam Hartman is about to transfer to Notre Dame. Does that negate the fact he's the all-time pass TD leader at Wake Forest? Shaq retired with the Celtics, but that doesn't make him any less of a Laker. It's time to grow up, and I cannot wait until Dylan Gabriel snaps some obscure UCF streak so I can let every single Sooner fan know about it. Until then, stay off my lawn.
Yeah,
Cone, you make good, very convincing arguments, and I see where you're coming from, but I disagree with you here. Now, Jalen's a smart person, all right? Smart business person. He's going to claim both.
Oh, yeah.
Because why would I not? It's just, that's, again, it's a rising tide helps all ships or whatever. Here is where I disagree, because I think every instance is circumstantial. I think you have to look at, especially now with the transfer portal, where you can just go basically wherever you want. This was during a time where it was grad transfer, right? That was, you get that extra year as a grad transfer to go somewhere. If you want to go to a bigger school or somewhere, and you don't have to pay the price or there's no penalty, but you had to have graduated. The way that I look at it is like this. If Jalen Hurts does not leave Alabama to go to Oklahoma, he is not a second-round pick, and I don't think he plays quarterback. He probably would have been a backup wildcat quarterback at Alabama. They would have used in the red zone. Do they put him at running back? I think he would have been used kind of like Taysom Hill. I think it's the best way I can describe it at Alabama. And yes, he graduated from Alabama. That is very true. But he graduated from Alabama with a degree in communications. He got his PhD in quarterbacking at Oklahoma. Now, if he was a big-time analyst right now or a broadcaster or something in the communication realm, then I would say yes. That is Alabama all the way. He got his communication degree there, whatever. But he goes to Oklahoma, and he has these numbers. The most ever passing yards he has thrown for, 3,851. What's the most he ever threw for at Bama? 2,780. How many touchdowns at Bama? The most he ever had in a year? 23. He had 32 at Oklahoma. All right, when you look at the rushing, his senior year, he had 1,298 rushing yards. The most he added at Alabama was 954, 20 touchdowns on the ground, opposed to 13 at Bama. But we are talking about Jalen Hurts and his football career. I think Oklahoma, when it comes to giving credit for Jalen Hurts being drafted as a quarterback, being taken seriously as a quarterback, and being able to have the opportunity to step in for the Eagles, I don't think he gets that unless he goes to Oklahoma, if not just for the playing time at quarterback. But I can understand both sides of it. I think there's a logical argument on both sides of it. That's why, to me, it's circumstantial. You brought up Russell Wilson at NC State. That's another great example. I can still remember Russell Wilson from NC State, but the weird part of me remembers Russell Wilson in baseball from NC State, not football. I think of Russell Wilson as a Wisconsin quarterback, but I can see the argument on both sides. And it was.
But I never said he didn't play at Oklahoma.
No. I'm talking about.
I never said he didn't have a good season at Oklahoma.
I'm not saying you did.
Like, that's my point. He broke an Alabama streak. I didn't even say Jalen Hurts, former Alabama quarterback, does such and such, because I would have given him credit for playing at Oklahoma. He snapped an Alabama streak, which is why I said that. Now, as far as the number, first of all, Jalen Hurts was going to play in the NFL if he never played at Alabama or anywhere, because he's that talented.
He'd be a starting quarterback for the Eagles,
second-round pick? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. As far as him having his best season over there, Lincoln Riley undoubtedly can develop quarterbacks. So he learned under his tutelage. So can Brian Daboll, apparently.
Oh, for sure.
And that was the OC for Jalen Hurts at Alabama. So he was getting good tutelage either way. It's just funny because if in any other situation where a great quarterback had a season putting up big numbers in the Big 12, you would have said it was because of weak defenses.
Oh, that had something to do with it.
But said stronger defenses in the SEC.
No, I agree with you.
That has to play into what we're talking about here. You're going to go to the
100%.
Big 12 and throw for 3,200 yards or whatever. Like, that has to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah, but also, I mean, the crazy thing about that number is he actually had 42 less attempts his senior year at Oklahoma throwing the ball than he did in the most year at Alabama. I think.
But if someone put out,
dominated in the run game.
Former Jalen Hurts quarterback, or former Oklahoma quarterback Jalen Hurts broke some Oklahoma streak, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I would have never responded.
Nobody. To me, that's what I'm saying. I think there's logical answers on both sides. But if we're talking about, do I view Jalen Hurts as an Alabama quarterback or an Oklahoma quarterback, or which school do I give the most credit for him being where he is now? I would lean Oklahoma for that reason. For it, like I said, at least for the exposure, because there was no way that he was going to start over Tua his senior year at Alabama. And the great part about it is, it worked out beautifully for him. He could not have made a better decision, and it worked out for Tua.
And Nick Saban helped him transfer to Oklahoma.
No, for sure, because Nick Saban
and the guy who
realized
started is the all-time passing touchdown leader at Alabama.
For sure.
Not like some Joe Schmo just came in to be the
And
starter.
again, but the crazy part is, which one would you take in the NFL?
Well, Nick Saban's always playing chess when other people are playing checkers, and he knew the thing with me is just Cone. It just doesn't feel right to me, man. It just doesn't feel, because it's about who can claim who. And there's not really.
No, see, I don't think so.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying, right? What you're saying is true about one of the games he played at Bama and Oklahoma. But the argument, really, especially on Twitter or social, who can claim them, right? And I can see, to me, when Oklahoma fans, it's almost about we're in a time now with the portal and stuff. It's almost like where you finish is where you can claim them. So that's why it's not where you start, but where you finish. And I understand he left Bama, and let's really think about it here. I mean, he got replaced at halftime. Tua came in and won. He sat for an entire year, then came back and had a big game late. And then after that, somewhat got ran out of town because he knew he wasn't starting. And we can say he went to Oklahoma, and just always know this about Nick Saban. All right, I know he loves Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a great guy. But there's one thing about Nick Saban is this. If there's an offense he was somewhat afraid of back in the day, it was that Lincoln Riley offense. And if he knew he sent Jalen Hurts to Oklahoma and he saw Oklahoma in the playoffs, they were going to whip their ass because Jalen Hurts couldn't throw him to a win. So I promise you, Nick Saban's always playing chess when other people are playing checkers. But at what point, because this argument is so malleable, there's not a concrete definition we can put this on, right? So the only way I can see it is it's just about where you finish at. It's where you finish playing your college career at.
So let me ask you this. If Sam Hartman, who just transferred to Notre Dame
quarterback,
gets hurt in spring practice and can't play his senior year, but stays at Notre Dame through it, do you give Notre Dame credit for that?
If he doesn't play a single game?
Yeah, or if he plays one game and gets hurt on the third play. I don't want Sam to get hurt.
You almost have to. It's almost where you finish. All right, unless you want to put amount of games you have to play, or because the argument's just going to get so wild to where it just doesn't make any sense and people can just say anything. To me, it's about where you finish your college career at.
All right, so in the comments, tell us, where do you believe? Are you with Cone? Are you with me? Are you with Blaine? Because I feel like we're making three different arguments, which I think...
I'm making a factual statement. No one can say my statement's not factual. Jalen Hurts played quarterback at Alabama at some point in his lifetime. So in terms of talking about this word claim, like who gets to claim him, the kid's not a lottery ticket.
Well,
like,
that's what the argument
to make the statement, he's an Oklahoma quarterback. He still plays there?
That's what the
Philadelphia
argument's
Eagles quarterback. Yeah, and it's a stupid argument. I'm not trying to claim the kid for anything. I'm a neutral party to this whole situation.
Yeah.
He played quarterback at Alabama sometime in his life, as Bo Nix did at Auburn. If Bo Nix goes and wins a Super Bowl in the NFL, I guarantee you are going to say former Auburn quarterback Bo Nix accomplished this feat, and you should. He's an Auburn guy.
I won't.
He's an Auburn guy. And Oregon can do the same thing.
He's an Oregon guy to me. He's not an Auburn guy.
Shaquille O'Neal retired a Celtic. Where do you think of Shaquille O'Neal dominating and playing? For the Lakers.
Well, see, maybe
it's the NBA. Like you left, bro.
For the Lakers.
You left. Like you broke up and now you're going to claim him. Like you left. You left. I don't claim Bo Nix. Bo Nix should go win the Heisman.
He wore both logos in the Senior Bowl.
And that's fine. It just seems desperate to me. It seems desperate. The kid left. He didn't finish his career at Bama. He left. He's an Oklahoma quarterback.
If I were an Alabama fan, or maybe for some Alabama fans, maybe, I'm just making a factual statement of the situation. The kid wore both logos in the Senior Bowl.
For sure. I get what you're saying.
Which was a brilliant move, by the way. I think that was an absolute
Again, he's playing chess. Jalen Hurts is playing chess.
I'm with you. Like, if Sam Hartman goes, and I know he's been in college for 13 years, but if he goes to the Senior Bowl, I would expect him to wear a Wake Forest and Notre Dame helmet. Look, I'd love to double up on NIL. Are you kidding me?
No,
you know what the funniest part of this whole situation was? I I had no idea that firestorm was coming.
Oh, that's how it works.
I was just trying to make, I just had this stat because of my father-in-law, Richard. Joe Namath and Ken Stabler get so much love for Alabama quarterbacks. Richard held this record for NFL playoff win for like 40 years.
The part that
he got lost in all this.
The part that I think is hilarious is it made Barstool, and I've never even heard of the guy who wrote the article. I mean, he looks like the Tennessee fan version of Mincy. I mean, you know, just at the end of the day, I have no idea who that is. But he said something about front-running Alabama backers, and it talking about you saying that, and I'm like, it's like that part on Heavyweights when Tony Perkins is like looking at the kids, and he's like, I see the next president of the United States, and they're like, hey, he's British. It's like, you do realize David Cohn played quarterback at Michigan, and his father-in-law is Richard Todd. Do a little research, but, you know, maybe that's why you're in the situation you're in. But speaking about Jalen Hurts and which side you pick in the comments, let us know. But go ahead and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app as well. We know you love to gamble on sports like we do, and if you use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, new customers can bet $5 on the NFL divisional round, which we just saw, so now we're in the conference championship one, so you can bet $5 on the conference championship round, and you get $200 in free bets instantly. That is only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details, guys, as we get ready for this weekend, Sunday's games, the conference championship. I went ahead and took the Bengals plus 4.5 and over at 47.5. I think both these offenses are going to score, even though Mahomes is beat up. So there's a little. I took a sharp early. I don't know. I'm on this Bengals train.
So same game parlay.
So yeah, same game parlay basically. Because you know the cool thing about DraftKings is you don't even have to same game parlay if you're going to take the normal spread and the normal over-under. You can just hit both of those, and it doesn't make you view the bet slip. Now, if you want to use the alternate lines, and you wanted to say, let's say I wanted the Bengals plus 7.5 because I don't want to get caught with the hook, and then the over, you would have to same game parlay it. But that's what makes DraftKings great and makes the app great, is that you can do both. It shows you the versatility of DraftKings. Use that code BOOSTER. But speaking of Booster Club, what's going down?
All right, let's go to M. Hud. What's up, honey? So is Tom Brady a Patriot or a Buck? He won a Super Bowl with both teams.
You know,
it's
to me, I think we and I know the games are starting to get similar, whether it's college or the NFL, but I think the NFL, we know college football is a business, but the NFL, it's a little bit different when you go to teams. You don't pick the team you go to unless you're a Manning, and then you can pick wherever you go. But outside of that family, you get drafted by a team. Then that team can it's a lot less out of your control. And I know once you get some cred in the league, you can do no trade clauses and things like that. But it's a lot more in your control in college because you're the one that's in charge of where you go, as opposed to the NFL where they can come and buy your contract out and you have to go to another team. So I think that's kind of apples and oranges when you're looking at pros to college. Now, if you're looking and saying, all right, do you consider Tom Brady a Patriot or a Buck just in the NFL, not compared to college? To me, I think it's where you were the most and where you kind of blew up at. That's to me, that's the Patriots. Tom Brady will always be a Patriot quarterback to me.
You know what's so funny? First of all, this whole situation with Jalen Hurts just speaks to how much class he has with the way that he still identifies with the Alabama program and has love for them. What would really complicate this whole thing, because Tom Brady left the Patriots, there was a little animosity, but he's always going to be a Patriot for life. He'll probably do a sign and he'll probably retire a Patriot. With Jalen Hurts, what would really make this situation tricky is if he didn't claim Alabama. You know, if he was really, you know, upset about the situation and was like, I'm just an Oklahoma quarterback. He still started 28 games and won a national championship. That would make it really
tricky. Does he say in the intro?
High school.
He says high school.
Says it's high school, yeah. I'm telling you.
Again, man,
high IQ play, man.
He's smart.
He knows high IQ play.
He knows what's going on. Let's go to Cody Nason, 95. King of Getting Graphics, says, this was all blown out of proportion. He's obviously both, and Cohn wasn't trying to say otherwise. The stat was only relevant for an Alabama perspective.
Who said that?
It's Cody Nason.
Golly, we need more Cody Nasons on the internet, man.
We need more Cody Nasons.
Go to Justin Decker, who says, David. As the Auburn fan, Bo Nixon kick rocks. He is dead to me.
What? He's dead to you?
I think
Is he dead to y'all,
guys,
Jake?
look,
dead to me.
Look, here's the interesting part about Bo Nix. That was such a toxic situation. I feel like it's a bad example. I feel like the way Jalen Hurts.
You're going to let Brian Harsin run the sacred son out of town play?
I don't care. You're dead to me. All right? We broke up. I'm not chasing you. All right? I'm not going to text you and say, I miss you. I'm just going to go to the gym and work out for 3 hours and freak out. That's what I'm going to do.
In today's college football era, where you can basically play as long as you want,
yeah.
Bo Nix may transfer back and play for you.
That's exactly right.
Transfer back.
Half the teams in the NCAA can claim JT Daniels.
Yeah, I was trying to squeeze that into the get off my lawn. Like, who is this guy going to say?
Him and Tate Martell. Tate Martell's been transferred more time than a Guantanamo Bay prisoner.
Oh, no. All right, let's go to Sister Riggs. What's up, Sister Riggs? She says, emotions run high sometimes when it comes to sports and loyalty, but she thinks Cone is being rational.
Good.
Well, Cone's stating facts.
Hey,
like,
I'll tell you what, I'd rather argue over this all day than politics and men and women's sports.
Yeah.
This is much better to argue about. So.
Or Brittany Griner.
Let's go to Laura Brown. She says, what about LeBron, who has played for half the team? Oh, wait, no one cares about him. Don't get me started in here.
Yeah.
All right?
I don't want to.
Good job, Laura.
What's going on in the YouTube chat?
That's where I am.
Okay.
Let's go to Josh Reagan. What's up, Josh? Says, Cone can get the call at any time. We're wasting potential last-round convo on this. Come on, fellas. There's a baby on the way.
Yeah. Look, it is. It's any moment in time. Man. Are you waiting on the call?
Waiting on the call, man.
What if it happens during the show? You got to go. If it happens during the show, you got to go.
I'll tell you, man, I'm more nervous than Darby Lou, dude. She's a champ. She's like, I got this.
She's a soldier for sure. And she, I mean, y'all, you got a little experience.
That's some experience.
She already threw a touchdown pass in the league.
She already threw a TD pass.
She's not nervous seeing the wide receiver open down the side again.
And there's no question about her allegiance when it comes to collegiate
or
collegiate allegiance.
Or Reeds. That's why it's when they get together, I have to go into another room. Let's one more from the Booster Club. And then
let's go to Travis Elrod. He wants to know, if you're a high school quarterback prospect, would you rather play for Lincoln Riley or Nick Saban?
A high school quarterback.
Wow, what a great situation to be in.
Yeah.
I would say just quarterback specific, Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, man, you'd probably want to play for Lincoln Riley. But then again, the same point that I made about Brian Daboll. I mean, think about all the OCs that Jalen Hurts and those guys got to play under. Who is the OC at that time?
Yeah,
you might be learning under Steve Sarkisian or Lane Kiffin or Brian Daboll or Mike Loxley. I mean, the list goes on.
And, it used to be, and you're going to go in the Big 12. But now it's like, well, if you're, where Lincoln Riley, when he was at Oklahoma, you'd be going to the SEC. But if you're going to the Pac-12, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a good look.
3 Heisman trophies.
Look at what they're doing with quarterbacks. We talk about Alabama being a quarterback factory. Look at the Pac-12. Look at what the Pac-12 has coming back this year. Mm-hmm. Michael Penix Jr., Cam Rising, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. Come on, man. The DeLorda kid from Arizona that I like a lot. DJU, can he figure it out at Oregon State? I don't know. Speaking about an unpredictable passer, the anti-armor tank. All right, Coney, let's get to a little punter go here.
Punter go. Brock Purdy. Boys, I want to start with Brock Purdy, okay? Brock Purdy will win a Super Bowl before he even loses an NFL game. Punter go.
Go.
You got the Niners.
Go.
Huh?
This is the Matrix. This is the Matrix giving us a little Tom Brady action back. And let's be honest. If he runs the table and wins a Super Bowl, he's off to a better start than Brady.
What?
Can I finish?
Oh, my God.
Can I finish before your gross responses?
Go ahead.
I am not saying that Brock Purdy will beat Tom Brady. I am just pointing out. And look, Tom Brady inherited a pretty good roster when he was at the Patriots, too. Now, it wasn't what the Niners have, but I'm not going to fault Brock Purdy for coming in, being efficient, and winning games. I think they win this weekend, and right now, I think they win the Super Bowl. I think they beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl, as crazy as that sounds. And if they do, that would be factual on what you just asked me. And how can you be off to a better start? How can you get off to a better start in the NFL if you're a quarterback at all time? Now it's you. You came in and did, if this happens, which I think it will, you came in and did what Jimmy G couldn't. I've never seen has any quarterback won a Super Bowl in their rookie year? Has any quarterback ever won one in their rookie year? Mm-hmm. And people say, if there's all these pieces around them. Well, guess what? You need pieces around you to win a Super Bowl. Nobody has ever won a Super Bowl with no pieces. That's not how that works. All right, Trent Dilfer from the Ravens offense, were they the best? No, but they had some pieces, and that defense was one of the best ever of all time. They were murdering people, literally on and off the field.
Looks like no.
No, he can do something never in the history of the NFL that a quarterback has done.
Nope.
I mean, at some point, the man's come in and he's what, 8-0? Like, what do you say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 8 times, you're not fooling me. Brock Purdy's got some dog in him. Go ahead.
I'm punting on this, but the fact that we mentioned Brock Purdy and Tom Brady in the same sentence is ridiculous.
I'm talking about
Doesn't
a
matter.
start.
That's disrespectful to Tom Brady. Disrespectful. I don't know if you got a minor car accident on the way over here, but it's disrespectful. I think they lose to the Eagles. I really do.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are a better football team at the moment. I think Jalen Hurts, with the way he's playing this year, that's the kind of difference when you get into a 49ers defense like that, who's phenomenal, by the way, but a quarterback that can move around in the offense that's built around Jalen, just his feet. It's a lot different than the way he's throwing the ball this year. I'm not taking anything away from Brock Purdy. The kid's absolutely balling right now. Balling. But just because, you start great doesn't mean you're going to finish in the same breath as Tom Brady. You could come out and go 3 for 3 with 3 tanks in baseball. Hell, I won the World Series home run derby when I was 13. All right, I'm not Aaron Judge.
Yeah, well, you weren't playing in Major League Baseball. If you won the home run derby in Major League Baseball when you were 13, that'd be different. Again, understand the argument. I'm not saying that Tom Brady and Brock Purdy are going to do the same thing. What is the craziest part about Tom Brady's story? He wasn't anything big coming out of Michigan. Nobody really took him seriously in the draft. Sounds like who? Who does that sound like to you? I don't know. Brock Purdy, who got drafted even behind Tom Brady. And then Tom Brady comes in for an injured starting quarterback that was a pretty good player in Drew Bledsoe and ends up winning a Super Bowl and being Tom Brady. What I'm saying is the paths that they're following, if you follow the bouncing balls like it's the Disney Channel, are very similar. I don't know if Brock Purdy or the 49ers will ever win a Super Bowl after this year. But if he comes in like he did against the Dolphins and they run the table all the way through the back and he wins the Super Bowl, he is off to a better start than Tom Brady in a similar scenario. That's what I was saying, Blaine.
It does make me think of baseball, too, for those guys who come in and hit a home run in their first at-bat or first 2 at-bats. You've seen that before in Major League Baseball. And it's like, man, it's off to a better start than Derek Jeter.
Trevor Story, I'll never forget Trevor Story for the Rockies came in his first game. I think his first 3 at-bats, he hit a tank. I was like, oh, my God, it's Thor.
But what else did Tom Brady and Brock Purdy have in common? They both came into the league with really good football teams under the tutelage of really great head coaches, right? So Tom Brady was able to get those first 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots when really the defense was the identity of that team. Yep. Tom Brady was able to come in, not make mistakes, and then make big plays when it counted, right? Until the mid-2000s, right, when Tom Brady said, now I can take over. I can win us games now. Bring me Randy Moss. Bring me this high-flying offense. So the brilliance of Tom Brady and the greatness of him is the longevity of his career and being able to win in different ways now with different teams, including the Bucs. So let's see if Brock Purdy, first of all, can accomplish even this in his rookie season. But does he have that longevity, especially if Kyle Shanahan were to leave or you don't have one of those great play callers anymore leading you?
Yeah, if he loses, they're going to bury him. They're gonna bury.
They bury anybody.
You'll probably won't even start next year if you lose. They'll probably Kyle Shanahan, his little shiny toy Trey Lance, just to come out and told you so. He wants to play. You probably won't even play next year.
I think they find a way. I think they find a way to move one of Jimmy G or Trey Lance and like J.G. Wentworth. They want their money and they want it now. But speaking about longevity, men, are you out there feeling less like your old self these days? Maybe you don't have the energy you used to or the body you used to. Well, do something about it. All right, with Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster. Speaking about home runs, Frank Thomas takes it. Look how many home runs he hit. All right, because as we age, our body loses free testosterone. All right, our energy drops, our libido falls. Come on, guys, figure it out. And we start to lose muscle. But with Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster, it helps you turn back the clock and re-energize your workouts. It contains key man-boosting ingredients like testofen, which is validated in 5 clinical studies and backed by years of research by scientists. Unlike other products that use generic ingredients that are far less clinical grade, Nugenix Total T gives you the same clinical potency levels as used in trials. And if you text CRAIN to 231-231, that's CRAIN to 231-231, you get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T right now. All right, so text them, and you'll also, if you do this, but wait, there's more, you get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Thermo, their most powerful fat incinerator ever. Just zaps it, Gonzo the Clown, and it's absolutely free. So text CRAIN, that's C-Rain, like me behind the three-point line, to 231-231, that's CRAIN to 231-231. Get back jacked and tan and stay a man.
That's a lot of complimentary items they'll send you there.
Look, it's just nothing but compliments.
I love it.
That's exactly right.
I love it. All right, next punter go. Patrick Mahomes will not play every snap in the AFC Championship. Punt or go?
I'm going to go because I think they're going to put Travis Kelce in the Wildcat again like they've seen down in the red. They're going to find ways. Here's the great part about Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. They always have an answer for whatever pops up. Oh, Tyreek Hill's gone. Oh, we have more explosive plays this year than we did last year. They're so smart, and their bag is so deep. That Birkin bag is so deep when they reach their hands down in there and start bouncing things off each other. They will find a way. We talk to steal snaps where Patrick's, there's not a lot going on that ankle. You're going to see a lot more quick game, which you see a lot of quick game with the Chiefs, especially in the red zone, Jerick McKinnon and guys like that. A lot more screens, getting the ball out early, and then taking shots. But do not be shocked if you see Travis Kelce line up in the at quarterback. Do not be shocked if you see Jerick McKinnon, who is a former quarterback, line up at quarterback. The Chiefs are smart enough to find a way to not overuse Patrick while still being effective. I will never sleep on Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid getting together, some cookies, a glass of milk. Let's find a way to whip your ass.
Yeah, it's the playoffs, baby. It's the conference championship. Patty, get your ass out there. It's time to go. We'll shoot it up. We'll tape it up. We'll do whatever you have to do. Even Patrick, there's no way. Even Patrick freaking out on the sidelines last game. There's no way he's not out there playing every snap. There's no way.
Every snap.
Every snap. But I don't think they're going to.
What about extra points?
I don't think they're going to put him on safety.
What about extra
at
points?
Safety or on kickoff? But he's going to be out there playing every snap. And high ankle sprains are nothing to play with, obviously. And Jake, you mentioned this the other day on the show. It hurts a lot worse now than it did while he was playing, right? But I heard he is walking around, moving around, and hell, the only thing now, if he does have a bum right ankle, now he's just really good. Right? Now he's only really good.
Now he's closer to human.
Yeah.
Look, give the man a couple jazz baths and he'll be ready to go.
Don't bring Chris Collinsworth in here because
yeah,
we all know why.
Here's a guy whose ankle.
Major League Baseball. Art Moreno is not going to sell the Angels. Forget punt or go. Just what are your thoughts on this situation?
Boring. Come on, man. It's not working what you're doing. You guys have underachieved more than just about anybody. Y'all make John Calipari look like an overachiever. At some point, we've watched the Angels basically ruin Mike Trout's career. He's done nothing. Don't ruin Shohei Ohtani's career.
Oh, he's gone.
Please don't. You got move him. Move him out. If you're the Angels, let's do what you guys do every 3 years. Just burn it down and rebuild outside. Just give them send Mike Trout somewhere else. Just not to the Dodgers. No. Just please, as a Braves fan.
Or the Yankees.
Shohei, come put them pinstripes on, babe. What do you need? What do you need? We got it for you, Shohei.
What are the odds? Let's say this. What are the odds that Shohei Ohtani, would you take, if I said right now, would you take Shohei Ohtani if I said he's going to either the Dodgers, the Yankees, or the field? Who are you taking? Dodgers and Yankees, or Dodgers or Yankees, or the field? Are you taking the field or the Dodgers or Yankees for Shohei Ohtani?
I'm taking
the Yankees.
I'm taking the Yankees.
Yes, David.
Let me say, and our boy Jeff in the control room is going to like this one. If I'm the Red Sox, go get this man. Go get this man. Y'all been down and out. Y'all been down and out. Nobody's even talking about the Red Sox anymore. Hell, they're talking about the White Sox more now. At the end of the day, the Red Sox need some juice. You signed Devers back. All right, Bogarts is gone. You signed Trevor Story, who now they're having to put a robot in his elbow like he's Will Smith from iRobot. Y'all need Shohei Ohtani. Y'all go. I know y'all got the money. Ask Jimmy Fallon. He's got the money, and his show sucks. Just go. The Red Sox need to go get Shohei Ohtani. It'd be great for baseball. Red Sox or Cubs?
Just not the
Red Sox or Cubs?
Not the Mets. Just not the Mets.
No, not the Mets. Don't even say that. David, don't.
If you're going to Yankees, look, Shohei, it's either the Yankees or the Mets. That's what it is.
No.
Definitely not the Red Sox. Who wants to go live in Boston? Ew, gross. That place sucks.
Dude, Boston's awesome.
Sucks.
Have you ever been to Boston?
Yep.
When have you been to Boston?
2 years ago.
Oh, really? 2 years ago?
I went to the airport.
You went to the airport in Boston.
And it sucks.
Doesn't count.
Beers suck. Baseball team sucks. People there suck.
That's your brother.
Yeah.
Dude, that's your brother,
I don't think
man.
so. It's what's that movie with Paul Rudd? My Idiot Brother.
It's hilarious.
Next one. Our boy Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah.
10 points in his return for the Orlando Magic. The Magic will make the playoffs at some point in Jonathan's career. Punt or go.
Go. I mean, they've got nice young pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Chumo, Kiki, and Jonathan. I'm just glad Jonathan's healthy now. I don't think people realize how tall and long Jonathan Isaac is unless you've actually seen him in person. Absolute tree, but an even better guy than he is basketball player. The Magic, I think they're 18 and 29 right now. Don't think they're really going to do anything this year, but they've got some nice young pieces, and we'll see where it goes from here. But look, I think the Magic's future is pretty good, but it's Jonathan getting back and healthy and keeping that core and keeping these guys together and letting them get that chemistry and let them play together in the future, I think is going to help the Magic. So, look, I don't think they make the playoffs this year, but I'd buy the Magic in the future. I'd buy him in the future.
Yeah, great for Jonathan Isaac. I'm glad the game he came back was the game he had to beat the Celtics to finish my 3-leg parlay. So thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that. But no, the Magic's extremely young and extremely talented. So it's going to come down to time. I mean, and I'm just glad to see Jonathan back out on the court.
Yeah. You got Jonathan Isaac, Chuma Okeke, Jalen Suggs, Wendell Carter Jr., Cole Anthony, some nice young pieces. And then you got Moritz Wagner and Franz Wagner.
Brothers Wagner.
Basically, they hate Bruce Willis in Orlando is what I get from that. So
I love it. Last few things here. Christian McCaffrey's also banged up. So we're talking about the 49ers. He's day-to-day, but he vows to play in the NFC Championship.
C-Mac's going to play, and this is the great part when you have as many pieces as the Niners do. You can't really focus on anybody, but you can still use them as a decoy, right? So even if Christian's not full speed, even if he doesn't get as many carries or as many balls spit out to him on swings and get involved in the passing game like that, you still, when he's out there, have to worry about him. And that helps out Deebo Samuel, and that helps out Brandon Ayuk, and that helps out George Kittle, and that helps out everybody involved. So, again, we talked about, Patrick, shoot it up, let's go. C-Mac's a little bit less severe, and I think they can find ways to use him as a decoy half the time and give him the ball half the time. Let's just put it this way. It's a lot easier to manage this Christian McCaffrey situation than it is the Patrick Mahomes situation.
For sure. Georgia wide receiver Rodarius Thomas was arrested on felony charges. Seems like, Georgia and Michigan, two teams who made the college football playoff. Since the playoff has ended now, both programs have had some tough news.
Yeah, and
how's this going to affect them in the offseason?
Well, I want to let the justice system do its due diligence. He was picked up. He went out on social media and said that it is not what it looks like. And again, I'm not going to sit here and believe one side or believe the other. I'm going to look at the facts and what comes out. But there's two things I get from this, because one of the charges was false imprisonment. Two things can be true at once. One, those things happen. We know that they happen. And two, I've seen women lie about this type of stuff for high-profile people. We've seen it before. We've seen men do it to women. We've seen it on both sides. So at this point in society, we saw I know it's a different deal, but the Jussie Smollett thing, and then it's hard for me to trust something until I can actually see the tangible facts and it goes through the process. I believe in innocent until proven guilty, but I want to see the process work out here. And I hope for him that this isn't true. But if it is, these are serious, felonious allegations, and they need to be taken seriously. Mm-hmm. And some things are more important than the game of football, and this is one of them.
Last thing I had was, did you guys see Shannon Sharp apologize for the brawl that he got in the other day? I thought that was good on Shannon to apologize.
Look, I don't mind. I really don't, as crazy as it sounds. Do I agree with everything Shannon Sharp says? No. Do I think that Shannon Sharp race baits sometimes? Yes. But I feel like Shannon Sharp that is 100% him. Mm-hmm. When I don't really watch that show, but when I see clips of him, that I feel like, all right, I may not agree with this guy. I may not really even like this guy that much, but he's actually being him. And then I look at what's sitting across from him in Skip Bayless. And it's the polar opposite to me, because, look, and I don't think Skip should get canceled for his DeMar Hamlin tweet. I don't believe in cancel culture unless you do something absolutely crazy, ridiculous, where everybody can agree and it's way out of bounds. But when you look at Skip Bayless, it's just fake. It's just fake. Like his Dallas Cowboy Dak Prescott thing he put on social media where he's burning the jersey. Like, go watch that video. Like, how cringy is that? And I get it. It works. He's a shock jock. He's the Don Imus of our time, basically, when it comes down to sports media and the things that he says. I just don't have a lot of respect for that, because it doesn't take talent to do that, in my opinion. It doesn't take ability to do that. Anybody can close their eyes one time and throw a ball and somebody catch it. But, like, it feels like to me like Skip Bayless is fake. And I don't know another way to put it. Like, that's just my take on it.
I didn't see the apology.
It was good.
Because I was just doing things with my life instead of watching Shannon Sharp. But I'm sure it was good. You're right. Shannon will always be Shannon. Mm-hmm. He's not going to change for anybody. Skip will always be Skip. I'm not a cancel culture, but I believe you should get fired if you're bad at your job. And I think
that's different than
Skip Bayless is bad at his job. I do think the thing with Shannon Sharp made him look extremely bad, and you look like a clown to me. All right, you're a fan. All right, you're a fan. You're courtside. Be a fan. All right, it doesn't have to always be about you, dog. It doesn't always have to be about you. You try to fight the entire Grizzlies basketball team. Then you try to fight Ja Morant's dad in a sweater and a scarf. Just watch the game, bro. Just watch the game. It just always comes back with these two guys. They always make it about themselves. I respect Shannon a little more. He's one of the best tight ends to ever play football in general. But at the end of the day, these two guys, it'll always be about them, no matter the situation.
Yeah, well, it definitely didn't feel like his apology was forced or anything.
No,
like you
that was
said,
real.
like he's like, I want to apologize to all of these people. So he went up and did it. So again, big on him.
Yeah, and I thought him giving Dylan Brooks credit to being like, look, I was a competitor too. I understand how. That's why I should have kept my emotion. He basically said what you just said. Mark.
Yeah,
he basically said what you just said, and I can respect accountability. I don't respect Skip Bayless for coming on and saying what he said after that DeMar Hamlin tweet the next day. I don't respect that because you turned it into a montage about yourself, and you're not. I don't think deep down you're as important as what you really think you are. All right, and it just again at the end of the day. I mean, just look at the man's takes. He's got worse takes than a bad actor.
Well, see, and that's the thing. So when judging him on whether or not he's good at his job, I'm talking about Skip Bayless here. If his job is sports commentary, then yes. See, I'm starting to just think his job is just to be relevant. That's exactly what they need from him. If that's his job, then he's good at his job. Go as far as you possibly can to make people talk about you like we are, but not so far that you get fired, which he hasn't yet.
Yeah.
And I hate to see it. I hate to see it because I don't like that in society.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's the fringe it's the clickbait stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But I'll tell you what's not clickbait. Whatever's going on in the Booster Club over there.
All right, let's go to Mike RFF Lifestyle. Says if a fan did what Shannon did, they would have been thrown out. Why are the rules different for Shannon?
Yep.
Well, look, if we're going to sit here and argue why are the rules different for people in high society than you know, us muggles, then we're going to be here all day. This goes all the way back to, you know, when people started to get power. I mean, we can Marie Antoinette this whole thing and let everybody eat cake as long as you want. Well, I don't know if that problem's ever going to be fixed. That's privilege. You want to know what privilege is? That is what privilege is. Okay?
And LeBron James, who's so quick to get fans kicked out of a game if they say anything
For sure.
about it. No, Shannon's my boy. He should be able to come back in.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, LeBron doesn't care about concentration camps either. So, you know, who cares at the end of the day with that?
It's amazing how, I mean, if that was a white dude, he'd probably be in Russia in the gulag by now. All right, let's go to Jacob Loveless. $2 donation.
Thank you,
Jacob. He says, can we see Bill O'Brien to the Pats?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's looking like to me. And people will say, oh, Jake, well, you said Bill O'Brien was going to be the next head coach of Alabama. Well, Nick Saban's still there. Like, you can go another place and then come back. I remember when I said that, somebody's like, oh, no, he's going to be an OC in the NFL sooner or later. Like, yeah. And then what? Like, you think he just wants to go be an OC in the NFL for the rest of his life? I'm telling you, I believe that Bill O'Brien's going to be the next head coach of Alabama. And Alabama fans say, oh, that's the Auburn coming out. And no, I was told this by somebody on staff, okay? By somebody, well, not on staff anymore, but they were on staff this past year. So at the end of the day, I'm just telling you, don't shoot the messenger, okay? I'm like the guy from 300 with one eye just running to tell y'all what happened.
I don't see it. I know Alabama fans don't want Bill O'Brien, but then again, they don't necessarily have a say or get everything they want. And Bill O'Brien comes in and starts winning games, they'll forget about it.
I
just don't see it. I don't think he's the next head coach, but I don't know.
This doesn't feel right to me. This is like eating grapes with just socks.
I'll tell you what, he'll be the head coach.
You say eating grapes with just socks on?
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right.
What? That's
do you do that often?
No, I don't. I have before. It's like dipping your pizza in honey mustard. Just doesn't.
Okay, first off, talking about eating grapes and just your socks compared to dipping your pizza crust.
We have to get over this.
You've got to.
I will not
get better than this.
I put ranch on my pizza.
Like a respectable human being.
But I put honey mustard on everything else.
That's fine, but it's not on your what?
Except chicken wings. Chicken wings.
It's not on your what, Dave? It's not on your what?
Pizza. Not on
your okay, Blaine. I put it on the pizza crust. What part of this do you not understand?
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Like what? Pizza crust is just bread.
You dip the whole pizza in.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. You eat grapes with just your
No
socks
one just dips the crust in things. No one does.
Yes, they do.
What did Taylor Lewan say when he was on? Did he pick ranch or honey? He was with you, wasn't he, on ranch?
He picked ranch, yeah.
Well, we were arguing which sauce is more versatile.
That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Which is honey mustard. It's got two. You want to know how I know honey mustard is more versatile? It's got two names. Okay? Honey and mustard.
Yeah.
All right? Ranch is just what? That's one thing.
So you like blue cheese more than ranch?
No, blue cheese is disgusting.
Two names.
But I'm not saying, okay, but blue is a color. Honey is a taste and a flavor.
Okay, yeah,
mustard
there we go.
Is a food item. Blue is just, it's a color. Because it's got blue crumbles in it.
Now hear me out about ketchup.
Here we go.
All right, let's go back to the musical.
Let's go to Manuel C. Punter go. Will Bill Belichick have a mutual split with the Patriots before he retires from coaching?
What you mean? Will he go somewhere else?
Mutual split.
No, he's going to retire a Patriot, I think, when he gets done. They can't kick him out. How do you fire Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick?
Yeah, I don't think you can. Now, if Bill, I feel like Bill and Saban are in the same vein of, is if Bill thinks he's not as effective as he used to be, or that he can't be the type of coach to be able to compete. Because again, it's not like the Patriots had no chance to make the playoffs here. It went all the way down to the last weekend, and they had a chance. So I think Bill will be able to leave when he wants to leave, but I also think Bill will recognize when he needs to leave, when he's less effective. Remember, his son's the defensive coordinator, and there's a lot going on there with the young quarterback. Well, let's see what moves they make in the offseason. I think that'll give you a good projection of where Bill thinks or how much longer Belichick's going to be there. Remember, hey, subscribe. If you donate, we read your question quicker, but the best way to donate is go sign up to Daily Wire Plus.
Yeah, I think the only way Bill gets fired is if they put a mirror in front of him in his office and he just fires himself.
Yeah.
That's the only way. All right, Josh Ragan, what's up, Josh? Punter, go. David's kids will eventually end up on 7-Footer Island.
Yeah, well, they're automatically, you know how you're like grandfathered into things? Like your kids are automatically allowed on 7-Footer Island.
7-Footer Island?
Even if they're less than 7 feet. Come on, it's like if Wonka had a bunch of kids.
I'll allow it.
He may been fat and loved chocolate, but he still let them in the factory.
I'll allow it.
Well, that's cute.
Thank you for calling me cute.
We'll allow you to have a say.
I'll allow you and your kids to come have some fun.
I'll allow y'all both to have this conversation.
Yeah, you don't to step foot on the island.
What? I run the whole globe. The island's just one small part.
Oh, it's the whole universe? It's like a Game of Thrones?
I've been watching Game of Thrones.
Like a Westeros situation?
Can I say something? I love my fiance. Okay, I love her. But when you miss a Game of Thrones episode or an episode and a half, it's all off. Last night, we're like, hey, before these games come on, let's watch. We've been watching Game of Thrones, hadn't watched in a couple weeks. Her mom came in town, things like that. So we're like, all right, we're gonna watch it. I swear, for that, however long the episodes are, which I think they're an hour, something like that, I got 1,000 questions. But like, it wasn't like nuanced questions. It was like, who's the blacksmith? What do you mean he's the dead king's real son?
I know exactly what season you're in.
Every question that you could possibly ask got asked. The amount of times I did this last night, what? Like, and even she was like, I'm just trying to keep up so I can understand it.
It's complicated, man.
Because you keep, then I was trying to explain to her the Greyjoys. The part we're at, I've already seen it, but she hasn't. The part we're at, Theo Greyjoy's gone back. He's decided he's going to be a Greyjoy. Didn't send Robb Stark the letter. You traitor. You traitor.
He gets what.
It's the worst. And she hates Cersei and Joffrey. I'm like, if you think you hate them, she hadn't met Ramsay yet.
Oh, man.
Ramsay, I hate Ramsay so much, I can't see that dude in real life.
Like, you couldn't even meet him.
I couldn't be around him. I don't. It'd be hard for me not to just go up to him and be like,
that means he's a good actor.
That means he's a great actor. It's like the guy who plays Draco Malfoy. I hate that dude. He may be the greatest guy of all time, but I hate him. I hate him deep down in my core.
Ramsey Snow at that point. Not Ramsey Bolton yet.
All right, Thomas Briscoe Jr. What's up, Thomas? $10 donation. I appreciate it. He said, I should probably mention that my sister, Faith Briscoe, deserves some credit. I bought the Web City Cardinal and wrote the original letter, but she has a better handwriting than me, so she copied it.
The investigation continues.
Yep.
Interesting there, Mr. Briscoe. Let's stay on top of that, by the way.
Okay, let's go to Manual C. Skip Bayless doesn't do X and O's and is all about narrative. Skip projects onto players, but when he did his bits about LeBron being clutch, Skip is right. LeBron has never been clutch. Y'all don't want to go down this path today. I really don't think we're going to be here all day. Statistically, LeBron's probably the clutchest player ever to play in the NBA.
Oh.
Look it up.
More than Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
You're saying LeBron's more clutch than Michael Jordan?
Go to your computer, right?
That just doesn't sit right with me.
Again, the same thing about Tom Brady with the longevity of LeBron's career. To be able to be this effective for this long
it's
in the
incredible.
NBA, there is some adjective that needs to be used with LeBron. I just don't think it's the greatest player of all time. There's
Let's put it this way. Who would you rather have
LeBron
taking the game-winning shot? Michael Jordan or
LeBron?
I think that is incredible that you would pick LeBron.
Well, thank you.
How many game-winning shots in the finals has LeBron hit?
In the finals?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think one. Well, maybe one.
I don't think he's ever hit one. I'm talking about like buzzer beater, let's go to win the whole thing.
You said finals. I'm talking about career here. I'm taking LeBron.
Yeah, I'm talking about the finals.
Michael.
I'm taking LeBron.
I'm taking Michael Jordan 100%.
I'm taking LeBron.
Who are you taking?
The best player ever.
And then after that, give me Steph.
Well, I don't think saying that the most clutch player and the best player ever is the same thing, because Robert Horry is one of the most clutch players I've ever seen in my life.
Well, so is Damian Lillard.
Huh? How many championships Damian Lillard won?
Are we talking about championships or being clutch?
I think those two go hand in hand.
Being clutch and winning no, they don't.
Being clutch and winning championships don't go hand in hand.
Right?
Good luck explaining your way out of that
winning shots, that's being clutch, all right? To be the best player, you're putting championships in there now. All right? To be the most clutch player doesn't mean you have to win a bunch of championships.
But what I'm saying is when the moment is at its brightest, that's when the clutch players...
Well, some guys don't get that opportunity, like Damian Lillard.
Well,
Damian Lillard.
Well, then you're not clutch enough to get
buzzer beaters and the amount of time in his career than mostly anybody.
Well, if you're not clutch enough to get your team to the finals, I'm not putting you on that list, bud.
Well, I mean, is it Dame's fault he has to go through the Warriors? What do you want Dame to do? Clone himself 3 times?
Okay, so the Warriors have won it every single year.
If he did, Damian Lillard cloned himself. If there were 3 Damian Lillards and then just 2 random guys for the starting 5.
2 randoms are like...
2 other guys on the team, not like you and me.
Like, we're definitely playing the.
We're definitely going.
Would they beat the Warriors? 3 Damian Lillards on the team.
It depends on who's my center. Who's my center? All right.
Hey, hold on. Breaking news: Bill O'Brien to the Patriots per Adam Schefter.
There you go.
There you go. Well,
okay,
there's a great segue. So Bill O'Brien, who's going to be the next OC at Alabama?
There we go.
Who's it going to be? Who is your money on, B? Next OC at Bama, who are you going to get? If it's you, who are you going to get?
You know, Riley's brothers. Just like, damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Did the contract get signed with Clemson?
Who am I going to get? I don't know.
I'm telling you. You want me to tell you who I'm going to get?
I don't know. Let me think.
Give me Jeff Scott. Give me Jeff Scott, who was just the head coach at South Florida, was part of the offensive resurgence in Clemson. We saw what he's able to do, runs a pretty versatile offense. Guy understands balance between run pass. I know it didn't work out at South Florida as a head coach, but he was a hell of a play caller in OC. Go get Jeff Scott. He's an analyst right now at Clemson after being the head coach. I think it's either him or NFL. Does Saban go NFL, or does he go get a young guy in the NFL? Does he say Joe Brady? What is it going to take?
Joe Brady.
What is it going to take?
Joe Brady's interesting.
If I'm Joe Brady, I'm like, no, I did that. It can't get any better than what I did last year. Kingsbury?
Cliff.
You know the number to Thailand?
Come on down.
What number in Thailand?
He has a phone. He can just pick up a phone and automatically connects anywhere.
It automatically connects in Thailand?
Anywhere on the earth.
Yeah, that's what it says here, man. O'Brien, who spent last 2 seasons as offensive coordinator under Nick Saban, now back in the NFL, where he began in 2007 as a coaching assistant.
I mean, where do the coaches for rehab go? Come down to Bama.
We can Amy Winehouse this thing.
Yeah, come on down to Bama. We'll fix you.
But I feel like Cliff wants to stay in the NFL. Like, once you've been an NFL head coach, I know people say, well, Bill O'Brien was at Alabama, and it's the same path. Now he's going back to the NFL. But do you think Cliff has to leave the NFL to be able to go back? I feel like he's going to already be in
I think Cliff needs some Nick Saban in his life.
He needs some Nick?
He needs some direction.
He needs a little Nick?
One direction.
Okay.
I'm talking about the band.
Okay. Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
Man, interesting.
Very interesting. All right, let's go back to the Booster Club and let's get ready to talk some college hoops.
Okay, Broken Sergeant says Cliff enters the coach of rehab project at Bama. Absolutely. Miles Masters says, here comes Cliff. Nathan Johnson, Cliff for sure. Look, guys, I'm not getting into the Michael LeBron debate, all right? Reed's mad at you, and she says she's never watching Game of Thrones again.
Reed's mad at me?
Yep.
I literally told her, I told her I was going to say this on the show today. All right, and I told her that I would say that she missed like 2 episodes. And she did. It's hard to figure it out once you miss 2 episodes. That's why you can't miss 2 episodes.
What do you mean? She skipped them?
Well, we fell asleep watching it one night, and it kind of played continuously. So we got back to basically where we were a little bit, and I explained to her what happened in the last episode. Reed, you can't be mad at me at 7:22 in the morning. Can't be mad at me at 7:22 a.m. Central in the morning. And yes, you are watching Game of Thrones, but it is your choice.
And I don't want to let that overshadow what they were saying there prior about Michael Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah.
To you, Blaine, what are they saying in there?
Oh, what's a mixed bag?
It's a mixed bag.
Oh, it's a mixed
bag.
bag.
It sounds like a mixed bag.
Look, everyone hates LeBron off the court, so they put him back on the court, and they have the same emotions. I'm dead inside.
So you're saying
I'm dead inside.
You're saying the Booster Club isn't smart enough to be able to separate LeBron James from his on-court
First of all, how
ability
dare you?
And off-court
How
persona.
dare you question the IQ of the Booster Club?
I'm questioning your belief in the IQ of the Booster Club.
Emotionally attached to the conversation.
Keep digging that hole, buddy.
I'm not digging a hole.
Dig that hole.
I'm not. Look, I'll dig my own holes around here. All right, that's fine. But they get it. They get it. I know y'all hate them off the court. I do too. All right, but on the court, Best basketball player ever step on the court.
Let's go back to the Booster Club.
All right, let's go to Broken Sergeant. All right,
again,
$5 donation.
You love to see it.
Is Russell Wilson mid? And if so, does that mean that Pete Carroll should get more credit than he does?
I think Pete Carroll may have done his best coaching job he's done in the NFL, as crazy as it sounds, this past year. Which, by the way, and I don't mean to digress, was this year in the NFL the year of the resurgent quarterback, or like the kind of the quarterbacks that weren't household names, becoming either elite or becoming relevant? I mean, look at Geno Smith resurrecting his career. Daniel Jones basically resurrecting his career. Brock Purdy comes out of nowhere. I mean, you look around the NFL, it's Jared Goff balls out again for the line. Like to me, I feel like this year was almost the year of the resurgent quarterback. Taylor Heineke did some things for the Commanders. It was just a very, very interesting year, and a year where Tom Brady, won the division, but it didn't end like he wanted it to, being the biggest name at quarterback. It seems like the kind of the guys on the periphery were the biggest stories this year at quarterback, which made it very, very interesting when it came down.
We're going to see some dominoes fall here. What's Aaron Rodgers going to do?
Yep.
What's Tom Brady going to do? What are the Saints going to do at quarterback? How about the Titans? What are they going to do? It's a lot of dominoes going to fall.
See with Lamar too.
Yep.
Let's go to Cone's high water pants. Your pants.
There he is.
They're pretty nice, man. $5 donation says the fact that this conversation does not include Kobe is bogus.
Yeah. Look, man. Talking about clutch moments.
Yeah, Kobe's up there too.
I'm not putting the ball in someone's hand.
I would rather Michael or Kobe shoot it before LeBron.
I think so. In the clutchest moment.
Yeah,
I agree.
Shit,
give me Larry Bird over all of them.
Look, Larry's nasty.
Larry will make the shot.
Yeah,
he'll tell you you're gonna make it.
I'm gonna shoot it from right here in your face.
The thing he did to Pistol Pete Maravich his last season was just...
Look, Pistol was nasty.
Oh, goodness.
Pistol Pete.
Goodness.
Pistol Pete, all those records he broke at LSU were without the three-point line.
Yeah,
Can you imagine if there was a three-point line?
You talk about pulling out the glizzy and getting
Pistol Pete was getting mad at Larry Bird. He told him on a huddle on the side of the court, he's like, if you get double-teamed, quit taking bad shots. He's like, well, I wouldn't be getting double-teamed if you were better at the game of basketball.
That's what Larry Bird told him?
Yeah.
Wow.
His rookie year. His rookie year.
I would love...
Wait, hold on. Who was a rookie?
Larry.
He told him that as a rookie?
His rookie year, he told him. I was like, this guy's insane. All right, let's go to...
I wish I grew up in that era of basketball.
Man.
That would have been... I would have loved it so much more. Like, growing up that and then seeing the bad boy Pistons and then the Bulls do it. Man, we're in the worst era of basketball.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
We really are. We got screwed in that one. Best era of college football, though, in my opinion, even with the crazy stuff on the outside. The on-the-field game, upper echelon. All right, one more, then let's get some hoops.
All right, let's go to Digital Champion. Does Bob going to the Patriots make Corkle MVP favorite next year? I say yes.
That's Mac.
Okay, McCorkle.
His name's McCorkle.
Really?
You didn't know Mac's name is McCorkle?
Mac Jones?
I didn't know that either.
His name's McCorkle?
Look it up.
Stop.
I didn't know that either.
Stop.
Let's look it up.
That's not a real name.
Yeah, it is.
McCorkle.
His name is Michael McCorkle Jones.
Wow. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
His name, how do you come up with that? Baby, we're going to name him McCorkle.
What's wrong with McCorkle?
Everything.
Well, I just sound like, what Dr. Seuss book were y'all reading when y'all came up with that one? Like, the McCorkle went to snorkel.
I'm going to be honest, I did not know that.
Yeah. Y'all didn't know that?
I did not know
His
that.
name's
Wow.
McCorkle.
I'm glad I can educate you guys.
I can't root for you.
That's hilarious. Digital Champion coming in and bringing the smoke. When it comes down to Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones, I think that will be a pretty good professional marriage.
Yeah.
But unless you get weapons on the outside of what you got, I don't care if you put Aristotle there to help him out. It's not going to work.
Aristotle.
Well, you're three. You're three with Aristotle.
Aristotle's a problem.
I didn't say Nostradamus. I said
he's a
Aristotle.
problem.
Yeah.
Those are two totally. You put Nostradamus out there, you can start to do some things. He's like, guess what? In two places, it's cover two. And also, there's a meteor headed.
Run the post.
700 years.
Run the post.
Yes.
All right, let's go to, you want a Booster Club again?
Yeah, let's go one more.
Let's go to Laura Brown with a $5 donation, Laura.
Best beef jerky in the world.
Yeah.
Hands down. Cliff is not going back to college. He hated recruiting, saw it firsthand as a Tech fan.
See, I that's my part of it. I think, again, these guys go to the NFL from college and they say, wait a minute. So I get to stay up here in the facility all day watching film, coming up with stuff. I don't have to go recruit or do in-home visits or have meetings about that. I don't have to worry about academics or anything like that. And I basically get all the meeting time I want because everybody else is up here all day. I mean, to me, that's the best case scenario. That's got to be the most fun, right? Like if somebody that's just about ball. Now, some guys love recruiting. Some coaches, I enjoyed recruiting. I'm a people person. I enjoyed it. I enjoy seeing guys come in and do the things and then move on and get degrees and stuff like that. But some guys don't like it. Some guys just want to do ball, and I get that.
Sure, but it's January 24th. As we sit here right now, all other coaches are in their landing spots. It's a supply and demand issue, like you always talk about, Jake. There's not a lot of options out there. So if you come in right now, most of the recruits are already signed. We're talking about the Nick Saban rehabilitation program, right? You come in, you can just do it for one season. Most of Nick Saban's OCs only last for one season. You could miss the entire recruiting cycle and just call plays this fall and then go back to the NFL.
I agree. I just have one question, though. How are the coaches supposed to learn if they can't fit inside the building?
Okay, we'll make it 3 times the size, okay?
No, Derek's exactly right. You remember the guys looking at him and the guy just like, no, Derek, you're exactly right. So it needs to be at least 3 times this size. That's great. All right, let's get to a little college basketball shoot around.
Okay, let's do it. All right, I'm going off the AP poll here. Let's get a little rankings. Purdue back to number 1, 19-1 record. Alabama moves up to number 2 at 17-2. And now Houston sits at 3 after their loss to Temple. Their record is 18-2.
Yeah, I'm surprised Houston didn't drop further than this for losing to Temple at home. Like, I thought Houston should have dropped further, and I still think Houston's going to win the national championship. I'll say it. We've seen teams struggle through, the regular season at points and then go win it. They've got old guards. They're scrappy. They can rebound. They play hard. But right now, I think Purdue is number 1 by a decent amount. I think Zach Edey is that big of a weapon. Now, the supporting cast does give you a little bit of worry because they're not the best shooters of all time. I love the freshman, Braden Smith, the guy that got running point, Morton, all those guys. But Zach Edey is so dominant. When I look at Alabama, what's really the piece that Alabama doesn't have? It's that dominant post player. I feel like Zach Edey is a guy that could definitely, you're going to have wide open shots because you're going to have to double them. You're going to have to. Right, he's 2 people put together. So therefore, you need 2 people on him. Somebody's going to be open if they're hitting shots. But the Purdue has the best piece, which I think makes them the best team. But as far as guys that can beat you in more ways, Alabama has found ways to play good on defense and win low-scoring games, win shootouts. Anytime you have Brandon Miller on the court, you can dictate a lot of things because he is an absolute assassin from everywhere. Noah Clowney, I think, has been the piece that has elevated them to a very, very high level, giving them another, because Bediako's a good player, but he's not a dominant player. He's still kind of figuring it out. Noah Clowney is coming as a freshman. I think he's going to end up going first round. I think him and Brandon Miller are both going to go first round. But Sears coming over from Ohio. It's funny. Nate Oates has done a really good job of out-recruiting the guys before. You don't see as much JQ. You don't see as much of these other guys that Alabama has had that have kind of been the, frontline guys for their program. You're seeing this young talent come in, and that's always good to see. So right now, I don't think it's crazy to say that it's probably Purdue, then Alabama, long way to go, then everybody else. Houston at 3, Tennessee at 4, but Kansas State, guys. Kansas State at 5. Love the way they play. Love Noel, their point guard. It's Big 12 basketball, man, is just elite.
5 teams in the top 12 here.
Yeah.
You got Kansas State, Kansas, Texas, TCU, Iowa State. It's incredible.
Blaine, are we worried about Kansas? Are you worried about Kansas? They lost 2 in a row. No, it's in the Big 12. It just
no, I'm not too worried about them. I mean, I don't think they're as good as they were last year, obviously, but I think once tournament comes around, they start playing for real, right? Their DNA kicks in, their identity kicks in. But I do think, to be honest, and if someone kills me to say, I think Alabama's the best team in the country.
I don't think you're crazy saying that.
I really think they are. I know Zach Edey's a problem, but the supporting cast of Purdue scares me. Brandon Miller, Mark Sears, and I think about Bediako's playing good enough to win a national championship. These guys are playing defense, which you don't see a lot from Alabama unless you saw it a couple of days ago when they had 8 super seniors on their a couple of years ago when they had a bunch of super seniors on their team. So right now, if it's me, you got the number 1 pick in Miller. You're going to be number 1 pick. You have a good enough supporting cast. If he shows up and y'all shoot well, y'all can beat any team in the nation.
Oh, yeah, they've shown that.
When Javon Quinterly comes back and he's not even in the top 5 in minutes played on your team, that's how you know you have.
If I'm an Alabama fan, I'm more worried about Quinterly talking stuff to other people on Twitter and getting people pissed off.
What'd he do?
Oh, him and I think an Auburn fan called him out on Twitter and he responded like, "We're going to drop y'all by 30." And then sent a bunch of these crazy messages to people, especially what's going on with the Alabama basketball program. I maybe would stay away from social media a little bit. And if I'm Nate Oates, I'm telling him, dude, do not do anything that is going to give other people bulletin board material. And if you don't believe me, ask J.J. McCarthy. Ask, and it never works out. It never works out when you do this. And you're not the dog in it. I'm sorry, Quinterly. You're not. I know you transferred from Villanova when they were balling, and you had some good years at Alabama. But guess what? They've out-recruited you, man. So the worst thing you can do is go and try and trash people on social media. And Nate Oates is smart enough. He probably called him in. I believe the tweet got deleted. He probably called him in and was like, "You can't be doing stupid stuff like this. You're supposed to be a leader on the team. It's not smart." And I mean, let's be honest. You're mid.
Zach Edey's averaging 21 points a game, 21 and a half, and 13 rebounds a game.
I'm just saying, like, this man, I've seen a lot of big man dominate. I've seen a lot of big man dominate in different ways. You know, Tyler Hansbrough dominated a little bit different way than what I've just never seen somebody since Shaquille O'Neal in college. Absolutely big boy everybody.
Man, imagine
everybody.
if Jaden Ivey came back this year.
It wouldn't be fair. But I mean, what was Jaden, like the third pick?
Yeah.
You know, it's at the end of the day, it was a great decision for him. But all right, what else we got?
That's it.
Okay. All right, so another couple things about the poll too. New Mexico hopped in there at 25. St. Mary's is at 22. FAU, Cone is at 21. And Charleston is at 18.
I saw that.
Pretty
21 and 1.
There. And also, speaking of New Mexico, I want to give a shout out to my good buddies, Brian Vincent, the new offensive coordinator at New Mexico, Joe Selfo, the new tight end coach in New Mexico, and Cornelius Williams, the new wide receiver coach at New Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, I was talking to him last night. Really excited about Coach V getting out there. They were the worst offense. Now, he wasn't there last year. He was the interim at UAB. Should have hired him, but I'm not going to go down that road. That New Mexico had the worst offense in the country last year, so like I told him on the phone, ain't nowhere to go but up. Ain't nowhere to go but up.
Man, that's great, because that was a bad situation.
It was a bad situation. I think UAB screwed up, and I hope they paid for it. What do we got in the Booster Club, B?
All right, let's go to Tyler Beal with a $2 donation. Appreciate it, Tyler. Says, does Wake Forest not get enough credit in basketball this year?
Look, I've always had a ton of respect for Wake Forest. I mean, if you look at where they are when at the rankings, I mean, I'm not seeing them. They got one vote to be ranked in the top 25 in the AP. Rutgers and Arkansas dropped out. Look, anytime you're in the ACC in basketball and you're having a modicum of success and you've won some games, I believe they beat Clemson the other night. Wake Forest did. I may be mistaken on that. But look, a lot of these teams, you just got to get hot at the right time. Does Wake Forest have pieces to get hot? Yes. I still think of Wake Forest as a basketball school.
Me too, guys. With Chris Paul.
I mean, I watched Auburn beat. I'm trying to remember. It was Chris Paul and somebody. Was it Josh Howard that were on the same team? Well, Auburn played him in like the second round one year, and Marquise Daniels beat him by himself. Like, just freaked out. But they had two studs. Absolutely. Did Tim Duncan go to Wake Forest?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, look, I still think of Wake Forest as a basketball school.
Let's go to James Stallings with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, James. I don't care if you have LeBron on your team. You're not beating Auburn by 30 at home.
Yeah, again, I think Auburn has the longest home winning streak in the country.
Yeah, they do, by like 7 games.
Yeah.
Talking about Wake Forest, though, being outside the top 25 but receiving votes. Duke, North Carolina, NC State, Wake Forest, all ACC teams outside the top 25 but getting votes.
Cone, look at this. You've got, if you would have told me 5 years ago that, Jake, you're going to be looking at an AP poll in January 2023, Kentucky's going to be receiving votes to be ranked. Duke's going to be receiving votes to be ranked. Indiana, I can understand that because they've been struggling for a little bit. North Carolina receiving votes to be ranked. Wisconsin receiving votes to be ranked. Memphis receiving votes to be ranked. Illinois receiving votes to be ranked. Michigan State receiving votes to be ranked. Creighton receiving votes.
It's wild.
What's going on?
It's wild in college basketball.
It's the upside down from Stranger Things in college basketball right now. I'm just looking for the Demogorgon. Where is he? Oh, wait, it's Zach Edey.
What is the Demogorgon?
Okay, don't.
Is that the wall?
That's the bad guy on
It's the wall, yeah. It's the wall.
It's a wall.
Demogorgon.
I saw 4 episodes.
You didn't like Stranger Things?
Huh?
Stranger Things is going to be on my It's Mid.
I watched 4 episodes.
I love Stranger Things, but it gets to a point where, like,
well, after
you can't. These guys are the actors are 30 years old.
Yeah. Well, after 3 seasons, shows start to go.
If they're missing sheets because they're at AA meetings, and
that's funny because you were talking about Game of Thrones. I didn't even start watching Game of Thrones until 3 seasons.
Well, Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad are the 2 anomalies. There's always an anomaly. There's always a Brock Purdy that comes out of nowhere. Year 1, Super Bowl champ.
Tom Brady,
undefeated, maybe.
He's better than Tom Brady.
No, nobody said that. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that evil on me. But I don't want to put this evil on you, but if you want to watch the rest of this, remember, you can stay here if you want to listen, but if you want to watch it, head over to Daily Wire Plus and become a member. It's great stuff. Or listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe and survive and leave a 5-star review and share it with all your friends. We're going to be right back with bets, Booster Club, and I'm probably leaving in a Ferrari today. We'll be right back. All right, our Booster Club bets are brought to you by our good friends over at DraftKings. Go ahead and download that DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code BOOSTER. That's BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 on the NFL Conference Championship round and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Here's what I got today. NHL last night. I may bet hockey forever now. Which means I'm definitely not going to hit this one tonight. But decided to, I'm going to, look, you know, at first you don't succeed, try again. And then if you don't succeed, try again. I'm keep going after college basketball because I want to tame that dragon. What does Jordan Peterson say? Men and dragons? Riding wolves?
Dragons, monsters, and men.
Yes, monsters and men.
Plain monsters and men. That's what he meant.
No, I don't think that's what he meant.
That's exactly what he meant.
Tonight, I'm going Vancouver. Let's Canuck it up. I want them money line and also Winnipeg and the Predators under 6.5. So that's Vancouver money line, Winnipeg, Nashville under 6.5 goals. That's at plus 188. Then on the college basketball side, let's close our eyes and hold hands and hope together. Arkansas money line, Clemson money line, Texas money line, TCU money line, NC State money line, DePaul and Georgetown over 148. It's a Big East battle. A lot of points, like a PowerPoint. That's plus 472. Come on now. Finish.
I thought you weren't betting college basketball.
No, I decided I'm taming the monster of men. Yeah.
Sounds hot.
Taming the monster of men.
Yep.
I like it.
You're welcome.
Rangers hit last night. Maple Leafs hit. Dallas Stars, I need y'all to figure it out. Figure it out. Cost me on a parlay. Tonight going college basketball. Miami plus TCU plus 118. TCU hits for me, hit for me one time, bet against them one time, I missed. I don't know what's going on with TCU. Very good basketball team. Need them to come through for me here. My other parlay, Texas plus Iowa State minus 118. I want to get in on some of that Big 12 college
Iowa
basketball
State
love.
is scrappy.
All right, I am staying away from college basketball. Hashtag don't trust it. That's what I'm taking today. I'm going to NBA, then I'm going to a little hockey. Let's start with the hockey. Give me the Avs, the Lightning, and the Bruins all money line. That is plus a dirty 244. And then give me the Mavs and the Suns money line. That's minus 113. I can't wait to watch Chris Paul and them blow it. They always do.
All right, baby.
CP3.
Soon
Where'd
to
you
be
go last night?
CP0.
soon to be
1-1.
Big Brother, baby cone. He wants the Penguins money line at minus 155, and he's going a little Smashville action. Preds money line at plus 100. Guys, we're plus 7.4 units in the month. Want to start out the year in the positive. And that is counting us. It's not counting Credit Co. Picks Tracker. You can check that on social media. But
It's dragging us down. It's dragging us down, man. Cement on the feet and so's in the water. I need you to have a good month, Cercio.
What
else we got
like
in the
that?
Booster Club? Oh, Ben knows we love him.
Yeah. Well, let's go to A Steady.
City?
Steady.
Yeah.
Keep it on you, Steady. All right, let's get a $3 donation. Love it. It's Rick Barnes mid. That home UK loss just hurts.
Well, in the NCAA tournament, he just Drew Barrymore's this thing. Goes
Like,
in there
if
and
you have
forgets.
to ask, bud.
Yeah, like,
You have to ask.
look, tournament coaching's a real thing. Like, watch the way Mick Cronin turns it up in the tournament. Some of these other guys. Rick Barnes gets to the tournament, and they look like they looked at home against Kentucky in like the Sweet 16. Didn't Michigan beat them last year? Or am I just tripping? I know you picked Tennessee to win it.
Because I picked
Michigan
Tennessee to
beat
win
them.
it. That's why I was conflicted. That's right.
That's right. Y'all let Emily Dickinson write a book all over y'all.
All right, let's go to Isaac Rose. What's up, Isaac? If you had to choose two of the big four sports leagues to be in your town you reside, which sports would you choose?
This is so easy. Give me Major League Baseball and NFL.
Wait, like, I can bring the Braves here and watch them?
No, he's saying, would you rather have the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, what with the fourth one, I'm forgetting, NHL?
Yeah, give me football and hockey because I'm still going to be a Braves fan. I'll just root for them from afar.
Football and hockey? Okay, I'm going football and Major League Baseball. Blaine, what are you doing?
I want to be different, but I mean, it's hard not to be baseball and football. Like, it's really hard. It's really tough.
I don't care about going to an NBA game.
Hockey games, though, guys.
Oh, I love the
hockey games. Too much fun to pass up on.
Well, here's the funny part. I was in Atlanta, okay, with the Falcons and the Braves, which was super, super cool. Now I'm in Nashville. We have the Titans, and they're talking about a Major League expansion team coming to Nashville. I will always be a Braves fan. The Braves will be number 1, but there's a slot for number 2. It's wide open. Dixie Chicks, wide open spaces.
What if it's the same division?
Woke. Huh?
How about the same division?
I got a second favorite team in the division. If the Braves don't win it, I know who I'm rooting for in the division.
We'll see.
That almost makes it easier.
We'll see.
That ups my odds of the top 2 teams I like making the playoffs. So really, I kind of like that. I would rather have that.
Oh, man.
You see everybody in the chat, they want me to have a flaming dragon mask for Fridays, so let's go ahead and figure that out.
A flaming dragon what?
Mask.
Dragon
mask.
A dragon mask.
Fridays. Which I've already said, but I got shot down.
A mask?
A mask!
How's that going to work?
We all
You put it on your face,
Were you
Dave.
Jim Carrey?
Huh?
That's a great movie, by the way.
I would love to have that.
I watched The Mask. We had it on VHS. I watched The Mask so much growing up.
Same.
Like my parents almost had to throw the tape away because I can still, to this day, remember chronologically what goes on in the movie and quote all of it. P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta.
I love that movie. I think the only VHS that I wore out was Angels in the Outfield.
That's a great movie.
It was just, it couldn't even play anymore.
That and Hook. I loved Hook. Run home, Jack. Run home, Jack. All right, what else we got?
Yeah, I didn't watch any VHS.
Yeah, well, you're like 13.
So I'm not 1,000 years old.
You know what a VHS is, right?
Yeah, I do, but I never watched it.
Remember when you had to put it in the rewinder and you put it down and rewind it?
I remember Blockbuster. Like, that was the thing. We had a Blockbuster next to an IHOP. Man, you'd have thought it was Wonka.
There's still one out there. There's still one out there. There's a Blockbuster still out there.
Yeah.
When you used to have to go and get the DVDs and bring them.
That was half the fun was the anticipation. That's why sometimes I'll just go get a Redbox and not even watch the movie. I'll just go get it. And just,
that's pretty funny.
I'll go get it just so for the ride home I can think about. By the way, I want to see that new Knock at the Cabin movie.
I saw the trailer.
But I don't like scary movies. I love M.
Night Shyamalan.
I love him.
No, Darby Lou saw that trailer the other night and was disgusted.
No, Reed's kind of like, I don't want to go be scared. Reed's never seen The Sixth Sense. Can you believe
really
that?
Easy in that one movie. He's like, look, sacrifice yourself, I'm going to shoot your child.
No, but like
all you got to do.
No. One of the 3 have to get sacrificed or there's going to be apocalypse and they keep, you know what? I just can't wait to go see the movie. And there hasn't been a movie that's came out that I've been excited to go see since Top Gun 2, which was not mid-Blaine. You watch your mouth. Bite your tongue, sir. Bite your tongue, sir. Bite your tongue.
So I'll be grown-ups here.
Hold your tongue.
A lot of good trailers coming out in 2023. You got new John Wick movie, new Transformers movie, the Oppenheimer movie looks dope.
Oppenheimer looked good. I don't want to watch John Wick 6. I do want to see Transformers, though.
Are you coming here talking trash about John Wick?
I don't want to see the 9th one. Like, if I have to see another...
if he busts up in here...
If I have to see another puppy die... If I have to see another... That's why I watched Marley and Me one time. I'll never watch... You talk about burning a VHS. I'll burn that one myself.
What if John Wick comes in and yankees you, and he blames you?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
You CNN's
Next thing you know, I'm an IP man, and I'm fighting.
It man.
No, refuse to call it. Refuse to call it that.
Blaine had me convinced.
It's the Redskins and the IP man, all right? That's what it is. And I've refused to change. Yeah. Go buy a Redbox and not even watch the movie, you psycho. Let's go to Charles Moore.
On Jeffrey Dahmer's brother.
My football teams are mid. I mean, he was a good guy.
That makes me Jeffrey
You're
Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, Jeffrey Dahmer's friend.
My football teams are mid at the best and easy to give up. Baseball and hockey teams have both won championships more recently. Charles, where do you reside?
Where you reside?
I mean, that's the real question. New Transformers movies coming out. Pretty cool about that. Cody Nason, I know Jim Carrey's a lunatic.
Oh, he's a lunatic for sure.
He's an absolute lunatic.
But Ace Ventura and The Mask are hilarious. I don't care how crazy Jim Carrey. I will watch Ace Ventura and laugh and laugh.
You like the first one or the second one better?
All of them. All of them.
You don't have a favorite?
Chicago. If you've never seen Ace Ventura, I have no idea what we're talking about. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, all the Ace Ventura series. When the part that I probably laughed the most at is when he's at the crime scene and he's got the sliding glass door and he's like, there's no way it could have hurt him. He's like, ah, and then shuts it. And he's like, ah, and then it's so good, so good.
Let's go to Glegby. What's up, Glegby? He says, don't want to watch John Wick 6, buddy. I'd watch John Wick 36. Movies are fire, man.
Again, like I'm not going to the theater. Again, I'm thinking about going to the theater. I'm not going to the theater to watch John Wick 9. This time he's back and he's pissed again. Like I'll wait till that comes out on, the service.
But then what are you going to go see at the theater?
Knock at the Cabin. Like just came out of my mouth. And Oppenheimer.
You go see Knock at the Cabin in the theater, not John Wick?
Yeah, I've seen John Wick. The first one, the best one.
Y'all watch movies?
Y'all got TV?
Yeah.
Y'all got money?
Y'all got friends?
All right, let's go to Charles Moore. He says The Indian in the Cupboard Box was one of the best movies.
Indian in the Cupboard.
Yeah, we put a box on here. I just
Indian in the cardboard box?
The cupboard box, that's what I said. You typed it.
Indian in the cupboard.
Anything you type in the chat, I'll read.
Yeah.
Like Ron Burgundy.
It's like Ron Burgundy?
Yeah. So like,
who put a question mark in the teleprompter?
Cody Kliwider? I'm thinking that's right. So I worked out
Cody.
I'm gonna say his full name. We're grown ups here. All right, that's what it is.
Oh, I don't think that's how you pronounce it. I don't think he's from a Klingon.
He might be. What if he is?
Cody.
What he is?
Okay.
What if he is?
Well, then congrats.
Pizza and honey mustard, you weirdo. I worked at Blockbuster when they shut it down. I was only given 2 days notice. Like Blockbuster was legit back in the day. It really was. There's still one left out there kicking. I'm pretty sure a famous person bought it.
Well, I'm just telling you, like I used to see Blockbusters next to IHOP, like I see a CVS next to Walgreens. Like I've never understood that. Like why would you put a CVS and a Walgreens right by each other? Like it's the same thing. But then again, they put McDonald's and Burger King right next to each other and it does fantastic.
They both do well.
Yeah. I guess sometimes it just works. It's like chocolate and peanut butter. People at Reese's, gold.
Devin21, did the boys talk about Armando Bacot yesterday for breaking 2 UNC records?
And, I remember, speaking of breaking, I watched Armando Bacot break the floor at the national championship game. But I feel like Armando Bacot's been there for 75 years. Like he's been there forever. If you look at North Carolina, they're the most puzzling team to me because you make the run you did last year. You fall to Kansas, who was a hell of a team in the national championship game. You return Davis. You return Leaky Black. You return Armando Bacot. You lose Mannix, who was a transfer from Oklahoma. But it just seems to me like they can't get into a rhythm, like which you would think eventually they'd figure out. Now, are they going to turn it on come tournament time like they did last year? I don't know. Some guys are built different. But I expect a lot more out of North Carolina than to just be receiving 12 votes in the AP poll as we sit here at basically the end of January. I expect a lot more.
And didn't Armando Bacot, wasn't he ACC Player of the Week like 3 weeks in a row or something? Somebody sent us that.
Yeah, I believe so. Armando's a hell of a player. Hell of a player. A little stiff in the hips, though.
Charles Moore says, I'm in Austin, but from West Texas. He says teams are A&M, Cowboys, the Stars, and the Stros.
Oh, man, okay. So all the disappointment the Cowboys give you, the Astros make up for it. Those cancel each other out.
North Carolina's won 9 of their last 11.
9 of the last 11. Okay.
9 of the last 11.
I just watched them play NC State the other day, and they didn't look good for a while. I know NC State can score, and that Burns guy down low is a double wide down there. But it just seems like they haven't been able to really get into a great rhythm. But 9 out of 11, that's a pretty good rhythm there.
All right, Obi-Wan with the question. Baylor on the rise after beating Kansas last night and soon to get Jonathan not saying that last name back from injury.
Yeah, look.
Tama Takawatala.
Look, he's a player. Baylor continues to be like the most physically imposing team that I see on the court outside of that thing Purdue has down low. I mean, they're just put together different. I'm never going to sleep on Baylor and what Scott Drew can do with the talent and the way they can recruit and the toughness. I tell you what's weird. What's weird is seeing Matthew Meyer, who played at Baylor, who I just connect to Baylor, playing at Illinois. Like, it's just weird. The transfer portal weirds me out sometimes like that. But look, I'm not.
If he goes and has a great dunk in the NBA, you're going to be like, yeah, man, I remember him at Baylor.
Yes. Again, that's a fact. I do remember him at Baylor. Now, would he claim Baylor, or would I give Baylor most of his success? I don't think he's getting drafted with pick 53 overall because he went to Illinois. I think he may be holding a playbook here in a couple years, sitting down on the sideline telling people what to do. But he did have a great trash stash, though. I do got to give him credit on that. All right, couple more from the business.
Let's go to Return to the Mac. He says, I went to a Kentucky A&M game this weekend. I just had to see Kentucky fans are just disconnected from reality.
I think a lot of fans are disconnected from reality. That's why fans short for fanatic. But Kentucky basketball fans are like Alabama football fans. The only difference is Alabama has success in football recently. Kentucky's just, been super mid lately under Calipari. I mean, you won it thanks to Anthony Davis. And you've had, Devin Booker? I can go down the list of first-rounders you've had that Kentucky hasn't won anything. Kentucky is, right now, to me, is like Alabama was with like Shula and Franchione and all these people. They tell you about, it's this great brand that we're supposed to do so great. You're not doing anything. Who's going to be your Nick Saban? Who's going to be your Nick Saban? Because I don't think Cal's going to lie. I know Kentucky went and beat Tennessee on the road, but they can't shoot.
There's a guy down in Tuscaloosa that might needs a call.
Look, by the way, did you see where if Ole Miss fires Kermit Davis, they may hire Chris Beard?
Really?
Yeah, I saw that. Don't be shocked if you see that. Yep.
That's fast.
Chris Beard.
Chris Beard's going to coach again.
All those
Ole
Miss fans that were talking trash about Auburn hiring Hugh Freeze, I don't know if you're really allowed to say anything anymore.
Wow.
Yep.
Not the best look. Oh, Cody says the W's pronounced as a V. It's German. Okay.
Wassenheimer.
See, that makes sense, right? So I would never known that if I didn't try to sound it out.
Well,
right?
can you tell? Was it like what's the last name?
It's Klawiter.
Klawiter.
So
Klavita.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
That's what I did. Stepping stones.
I like
Clavitar.
I like that.
Let's go to Scott Beret. What's up, Scotty? Sorry, guys, I'm late to the party again.
Unacceptable, Scott.
No, trust tree, Scott. You're safe here. All right. Dang work. I'll catch up later. I hope all y'all having a great day. You have a great day at work, Scott.
Scott, you enjoy your day at work.
Crush it.
Appreciate you.
Travis Elrod. Should Texas keep Rodney Terry as their head coach?
Let's see how they do. Let's see how they do. Texas can get guys to go there and coach. Let the man get through the regular season. Right now, looking at it, they're ranked 10th. They're 16-3. They're handling business. I got them winning tonight. Let's see Rodney Terry. This is audition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let the man finish his audition. Let him finish the solo. Let's go into the tournament and see, because look, what if Rodney Terry and they make a run to the Elite Eight?
Well, it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, they were number 2. They were ranked 2 when Chris Beard got.
Yeah, I mean, how do you fire a guy that has success like that? I mean, let's see.
They need stability more than anything.
For sure.
Bobby C notes says ACC basketball is a lacrosse conference. So ACC is basically a lacrosse conference.
I low-key like lacrosse. I'd watch it. I enjoy, like, when they get to the Final Four and stuff like that. I believe they call it the Final Four, something like that. I enjoy John Hopkins.
I never played it.
They'll, put your leg back on and then go beat you 8-2 in lacrosse. I mean, anybody that can do that, you got to respect. The ACC right now, you're banking on Florida State being big time next year in football. Clemson, North Carolina, Drake May coming back. Going to be interested to see Wake with Sam Hartman leaving. Miami, Mario Cristobal, year 2. How does it go? Duke had a good year. There's some things going in the right direction for the ACC. Syracuse had a pretty good year, so they're not totally off the map. In basketball, though, it is kind of shocking to see that, Virginia's at 7. All right, we know what Coach Bennett's done there is incredible. But guys, outside of that, Miami's at 20. And Clemson's at 24. You got 3 ranked ACC teams, which you talked about. How many Big 12 teams we have that are ranked in like the top 13? There's 5. Well, in the SEC, you've got the number 2 team, the number 4 team. You've got the number 15 team. You've got, let's see. So the SEC has 4, which is more than the ACC. I don't know. I mean, the ACC kind of fallen off a little bit. But I'd take Big 12, probably Big 10, SEC. And then ACC.
ACC will be there come tournament time.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be there.
Their run last year.
Always are.
They'll be there come tournament time.
Let's go to Trust Treat Squirrel, the $10 donation.
Oh, wow.
Trust Treat. How much of a one-time donation will it take for Jake to stop referring to the Redskins as the Commanders, or at least Washington?
Well,
I love you, Jake, but you're a serial offender. Name your price.
Well, I'm offended by what you just said, but I love when you said name your price. Here's what I will say. To me, they're still the Redskins. I call them both just because I want people to understand who I'm talking about. And maybe in the younger audience that don't really remember them as the Redskins, maybe they're in the Commanders. I know we don't have a bunch of 3-year-olds listening, but look, I'll call them the Redskins. It's like the fact that we even have to sit here and do this is so ridiculous. It's just white people getting pissed off about stuff that doesn't affect them. You want to know the biggest cancer in society right now? It's white people getting pissed off about stuff that doesn't even involve them. Like the Redskins, the people that are the maddest about it, white people. Indians, white people. The people that took the land of the Indians are the ones that are now mad. To me, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But they are the Redskins to me. I'll continue to call them the Redskins. And if I slip up and say Commanders, it's just because that's what I'm used to seeing now. So there's no driving force behind it, but you are the driving force behind us. So make sure you subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook, Snapagram, InstaChat, all that stuff.
Snapagram, Faceback.
Was there no poll?
Yeah, there's a
poll.
Always a poll. You just
poll.
Someone wants to close the show before we get to the poll every time.
Poll.
Who gets to claim Jalen Hurts?
Claim.
Oh my God. Okay, Dave. Are you okay?
It's a lottery ticket.
You okay? You safe here? It's okay.
Well, technically, when you get drafted in the NBA, you're drafted in the lottery. So,
Oklahoma, Alabama, or both?
I'm gonna say both.
Yeah.
41%.
Both. 50%.
Both. 40%.
Ooh.
Alabama 28%.
Ooh, hold on. Let me pull the arrow out. Let me just Robin Hood this thing. All right, great job, Booster Club. Make sure you're following us everywhere, like I said, subscribe, and like the chances of Dak Prescott hitting an open receiver when it counts, we're gone.